Hello again, YouTube. This is the Truth Man giving you the truth. I want to talk about a common principle that I learned from reading the scriptures and from the Most High. And that principle is one is too close to none. One is too close to none. One is too close to zero, to nothing. So anytime you only have one of something, there's only a few things that you can get away with having one of in most cases in the world, and that's God. That's God. And that's kids. Sometimes you might get away with it, but even with kids, it's good to have a sibling for your kid. It's gonna be hard with these women now and how they change with the weather, and you know how this year they're a saint and 5 years later they're a witch, and all this other stuff we deal with most of these female. Not all, just most. But even that, like when they got in the ark, it was two of everything. It was a pair of everything. And they got into the ark. He said two of every kind, so on and so forth, for whatever reason. Well, the Most High said it's not good that man be alone. But if you with a contentious woman, it's good that you be alone. Because remember, the opposite holds true when interpreting scripture. So it's not good that man be alone. If he got a helpmeet that's suitable to him, then fine. But if he don't, if he got a hurt meat, if he got somebody that's putting negativity in his life, it's not following his lead, so on and so forth, then he's either good being alone or good replacing that thing. But here's what happens when you have one. When you have one car, and that car, let's say that car breaks down, needs an engine. And I heard somebody on YouTube talking about it, gig worker. Car broke down, her car broke down, everything kind of stopped in terms of gig work. You should have two cars. I know somebody that had one gun, got targeted by the police, lost that one gun. No guns. Like, okay, let's say people with COVID, when COVID hit, one job, your job closes doors, now you don't got no job. Like, that one job, and let me show you where I'm going with this. When you got one job and your supervisors, managers, all of them know that you have one job, sometimes the problems that develop are because they know that you need them. Whether even in marriage, like sometimes the problems that develop with these women is because they're the only one. That's what happens. Like, you go from being a playboy, to trying to stick to one, and the things you were getting as a playboy, you don't get that with that one. And you start looking at it like, man, not good. So whether it's a job, whether it's a woman, whether it's a gun, whether it's a pair of pants, if you rip that one pair of pants, right? Or that one pair of pants gets some ink or something on it that can't come off. No, you ain't got no pants. One pair of drawers, you definitely shouldn't have one pair of drawers. But let's say you did. And let's say you messed those up somehow, some way. Till you took a shower and your drawers was too close and they got soaked. No, you ain't got no draws. I mean, this is like common sense. Like when you get that one, you should always be working to get the second one. You should always be working to get the second one. You get $100, you should be trying to get two. You get $1 million, you should be trying to get two. You should never just settle for one of anything other than God. It's too close to none. So if you, oh yeah, another thing you could get away with kinda, if you ain't got no kids. If you got nephews or you close to like some of your relatives, you still got somebody you can leave your material possessions to. So sometimes you can get away with having no kids. You know, it's better to have at least one, and then that way you got an extra ambition. You got something extra to work for. You know, you work hard and you leave what you work for to your future generation. You keep that seed, keep that bloodline alive. The Most High, there's only one Most High. You definitely should only have one God. But everything else, I would say just about everything else you had to. If you got a job, you should have a side hustle. This is why guys be ending up with what they call a side chick, what the Bible called concubine, stuff like that. The Most High permitted it because he already knew you can have some problems come up with that one. Even with Abraham. Abraham had Sarah, but guess what happened with Rahab? Ishmael was born. See, when you got somebody trying to make you have one or something, they really trying to place limits on you. They're not allowing you to be abundant. Like you should have at least two, 3 cars. I don't care. You say, but it's just me. Still should have a couple cars. You say, but I got a brand new car. Get a used car. Get a second. Get a backup. What if you get in a car accident that's not your fault and they total your car? Then what? What you gonna drive? You don't have to go find a rental. Oh, sorry, we don't have any rentals. They're stealing all the cars in our city and all the rentals are out. Now you ain't got no car. You ain't got no car. Like even with business, you should have more than one. Gig work. You do DoorDash, you should also be doing Grubhub. I know somebody that just had Instacart. When Instacart is slow, they all messed up. You should have more than one. If I would have only had that job, then I left. I look at it like this. If that's all I would have had, then I would have just been having to put up with all that garbage, all that pettiness towards me, all that back and forth, all that unconstructive criticism, all that unappreciativeness. Listen, I could just be honest about it. Wasn't nobody on my level on my shift. Nobody. They didn't know how to see the incorrections. Kind of off subject, but kind of on subject. You could be physically able to do the job, to fight and to restrain, but if you can't get in their heads, you're gonna miss something. If you can't convince them to do what you need them to do, one way or another, you ain't gonna do a good job. I learned that years ago. When I first started there, it was like a lot of people had been there 5 years, 10 years. Almost everybody was there longer than me. And I sat back and I watched them and see how they did things, what worked, what didn't, you know. And over time, I developed my own concept, my own strategy, and it works. It works. It worked down in Texas. It works here. Only thing down in Texas, Texas is an at-will state, and some of those employers know that, and they play on it. So, but my concepts work down there. Like I had control. Like a lot of time when people know you ain't gonna play with them, they ain't gonna play with you. Sometimes people, whether it's this, whether it's that, they'll try to push your buttons to see what works. But you push the wrong person's buttons and you fail. That's how it works. So when I had that job, I said, okay, I don't believe in working one job. I learned that years ago. I don't believe in working one job. So I started doing other stuff on the side, little side hustles, businesses, my own businesses, 1099s, working as partner with this, partner with that. And it was one particular. I said, when I get this, I'm quitting. So when I got it, I said, you know what? I'm going to try to stick around, see what happens. They start doing little weak, childish stuff. So I'm getting caught in the office for everything. Keep in mind, I don't need them. I don't. See, you're a fool if you start thinking in your mind that you need your job. Like that's the only job. If something is not the only one that you could have, it's not a need. Like anything that there's more than one, it'll never be a need. There's so many jobs that you can have, any state, take your pick. So why you say, well, I need my job. Like that's the only job you have. You need to have more confidence than that. You need to get a more abundant mindset than that. But that's how people get to thinking. They cling to stuff. And most things, when you cling to the only thing that I see positivity coming out of is if you cling to the Most High, right? Most things you cling to them, I'm telling you, something gonna go wrong. You cling too much, something gonna go wrong. And yeah, we talk about women in this space. Cling to most of these women and watch what happens. She gonna start to get disrespectful. She gonna stop doing some of the stuff she was doing to get you, to impress you. Cling to her. I noticed, man, I got better. I got treated better when I was out here. Man, these girls knew. They could try to act like they ain't know. But women be knowing a lot of times when they not the only one. And sometimes they'll try to leave you alone for a little while, but they'll come back. They'll come back. So I got treated better as a quote unquote dog than serious relationships. They treat it like a king. Hey, I did this, come on over. Blah, blah, blah. That's why the Most High knows more than us. That little box-head pastor of yours, he trying to preach stuff his granddaddy preached, who barely understood things, barely knew how to read. And that's not a slap. That's just how some people is. They start forming opinions and assumptions when they don't understand. That's how the Democrats came to power. Even though everybody knows, everybody that done the research know that the Democratic Party was trying to keep slavery. Now they can try to say, well, the North had their own agenda too. They wanted the industry. That might be true, but they freed the slaves though. They freed the slaves though. Them Democrat, that party y'all like, even though some stuff with them is good. Like, just like slavery, like they had their little plantation houses. They got to eat every day. They got certain things. They just couldn't get rich. They couldn't have freedom. See, y'all better learn the truth about this stuff. Anything that zaps your freedom is not worth it. Anything that takes away your freedoms is not worth it. And we're talking about positive freedoms. We're not talking about evil, unbiblical freedoms. But when you have one of something, that's not sufficiency. That's not independence. See, I got another car. I got another car. I got a van. So all I gotta do, need a couple repairs, throw that in the shop. Now I got two. That's how it works. So if something happened to this, I get the van fixed, I hop in the van. Y'all think that God is for this monogamy stuff. You get married to this woman, she the total opposite of what she was. She the total, a lot of them have become the total opposite of what they were that impressed you, that made you want to marry them. And now you can't even leave. That's why don't have one woman and don't do no legal marriages. And don't have no kids until you financially able to support them. And if she flip out on you, you ain't gonna go broke. You're not gonna be homeless. You have your own money that she don't know about. And then she try to get you, you won't go flat broke. See, you want a joint bank account. Oh, we gotta do everything. Yep. And just like on wrestling. Y'all ever notice in wrestling how the tag teams, that's usually the heels that form. They'll start out as a tag team, and then one of them will be raising their hand like, yeah. One of the most famous ones that I think about is Barry Windham. That reminds me of relationships more than anything. Barry Windham and Lex Luger were tag team partners. And what happened was the Four Horsemen manager, JJ, was secretly recruiting Barry Windham. I'm gonna make a video about this, man. And Barry Windham went against JJ's team. So he got mad at Lex Luger because Lex Luger wasn't tagging him, and he already had stuff in his head anyway. So he tagged Lex Luger, picked him up, brought him in the ring, and body slammed him. Then ran back to the ropes and did his finishing move on Luger. Luger was knocked out, and they took the belts. They took the championship belts. That's what happens a lot of times. That heel turn. Somebody getting in their head that you don't know about. The next thing you know, boom, you done got slammed. Ran back to the ropes, the lariat on you. They'll knock you out with their finishing move. And you done lost your championship belt. But if you solo and you don't form a team with the wrong person, or if you form a team, but the team, y'all a team, like y'all a team. So y'all stumping other people. Then you won't have those problems. But if you got a Barry Windham on your team, a Barry Windham with breasts, I know wrestling is scripted, but that is a perfect example for what I'm talking about. You gonna get clotheslined like Lex Luger did. And he's supposed to be helping him fight. He mad because Luger hurt. This is what I'm telling you, this is some deep stuff. This is some deep stuff. So Luger couldn't tag, or he couldn't help him because he was hurt. Ain't that how life be sometimes? You get hurt out here and the other person don't recognize that you hurt. They don't try to help you. They busy with their own fight, or they doing their own thing. And then by the time they recognize that you've been hurt, they done body slammed you and clotheslined you. And you done lost your championship belt. That's why you shouldn't have one. Because if you got two, the other one is going to stop you from getting clotheslined. I gotta be the only one. I gotta be the only one. When the last time you had sex with him? Last year. Oh, so you gotta be his only one, but you don't even desire to have sex with him. Your conversations make it clear that you want to get down with other people. So you not doing nothing with him, but you talking to your girls, your sister, your cousin them, about other men. Y'all see what I'm getting at? This is what guys dealing with. One job, they don't like you. You get fired. You get your hours cut. Now you got less money. One car, somebody slash it, somebody steal it. Now you don't got none. You see how this works? Have an abundance mindset. Try to get as much as you can. As much as you can handle. And as much as you can. In this life. The only thing you should have one of is God. You say, but I got one kid. Have another one. Hopefully. This is risky. A lot of basket cases, Clockwork Orange type chicks out here. One flew over the cuckoo's nest type chicks out here. Good luck. Look good, but ain't good. It's like that fried chicken didn't set out too long. Even if you fry it right, if it's salmonella in it, you still gonna get sick. That's a lot of these people. But thanks for watching. We're gonna go light. 3 at the most. Trying to get past the algorithm. You know the algorithm don't want y'all to have the truth. They want to control how you think. They want to keep you like robots. Recommend fart videos and pranks. More than stuff like this. You know how it be. So hit the like button. Share the content. Comment. Subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.